This is the part of the video series on the coal stove on how to keep the coal stove running. So the temperature outside is about 63 degrees. Temperature inside is actually more like 78, 79. That's because the coal stove is going, of course. And as you people know who have a stove, sometimes it'll heat you out of the house. So on the bottom in the fire pit there, in the firebox, we can see that there is a bunch of coal glowing, but there is also a lot of ash in there. Now the stove hasn't been shaken for, let's see the time, about 8-9 hours. So this would be about what you might expect, even maybe some less, a little bit less coal in there burning by the time you get home from work, or if you wake up during the night. Rather, if you wake up during the next day to go to work or something, you may even only see a couple coal embers burning. But if you have even one piece of coal burning, then you can get your stove charged up, is one term I'll use, and burning and heating up pretty good again. So in the back, we see that the damper is closed, and it's closed because of the high temperatures today. Again, this is a Hitzer Model 3095 stove. My temperature gauge on the top shows about 200 degrees, and I use that, a little less than 200. I use that just as a gauge. That's the same thermometer that people use on wood stoves on the stack, the inside part of the chimney, so they don't have creosote buildup. But I find if I put it on the top, then I can manage the heat output of the stove. So the ash door in front is closed as well. So the only air this stove is getting is by air leaks around the stove, probably around the opening here where the shaker grate is, and maybe some imperfections in the ash door or something of that nature. So, in order to keep your stove running, without further ado, first off, you want to see how much ash you have in the ash pan, because you don't want to fill it to death. Mine's pretty full, but I know how much more it can take, so I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to open it up again, or shake it down. Now, one thing you may have noticed, if you can catch it on video here, if you can see it, over there on the right hand side, is as soon as I open the ash door, I'm actually getting a little bit more blue flame. That's what we want, and that's what we should be able to see when we're properly charging up the stove. And the term charging up, you can use that, think of that as akin to like a battery. You want to charge up a rechargeable battery, and then you can run it down during the day, and then again at night, charge it up again. So for a stove, we charge it up by opening up areas for draft, such as the ash door in the front, and or the damper in the back. And now on this particular stove, I find that it works relatively well with either or, the back or the front open, but I can also do it with just the ash door, which is what I'm doing now. Now for shaking it, you want to be careful and use a feel method, and by that I mean if you shake it long, it should be smooth. Now what I'm feeling for is shaking it too much. I would know if I'm doing that because it's not smooth anymore, which means that some coal pieces are getting stuck in the grates in the bottom, which is underneath the firebox and above the ash door. So I just gave it a couple long shakes, and you kind of want to feel it out based on how long you've had the coal stove running unattended. For instance, if you don't have very many embers burning in there, or coal pieces, you don't want to shake it too much. You just want to shake it a little bit, not much at all. Short shakes, possibly one long one going in one direction or two towards yourself and to the back. And for that reasoning, if you shake it too much, you could actually put the fire out. So I'm keeping an eye on the fire inside, looking for more blue flame. And on warm days like this, it can be more difficult to get your coal stove charged up and keep it running. But if you do have an adequate chimney outside above your roof line by a certain number of feet, then theoretically in any temperature you should be able to get your coal stove to burn. And I see in the middle, and I'm not sure if it's coming up because I'm getting a reflection here in the fire glass. In the middle I'm starting to get some more blue flame starting to pop up. Now what I was talking about with the chimney stack, by the way, is if you've ever been on a cruise ship, you'll notice that their chimney stacks are very tall. I don't hazard a guess as to how tall they are, but my guess is probably over 50 feet. So that's to ensure that they can burn the coal. Generally, that fire keeps their engines running, their boilers, in any temperature. And I'm getting more blue flame, which is good. More on the right. Coal embers are actually glowing a lot brighter, which is what we're looking for. That means that the chimney stack is actually heating up pretty good. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Bunch of flame just picked up. I'll pick this up on the next segment.